Hey everyone, this is Pilot News, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody, how's it going?
Hello there, Drac. When's the last time we've seen each other?
It's been a long time, and yeah, my fault. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me, as Miss Taylor Swift would say. There's a joke for the Swifties in the audience. Not sure how many Swifties we have, but you're laughing right now. Yeah, it's been a while. When is it? Let's see. I might get sad if I look this up, though. Do you want to make me sad, finally?
Well, let me put it this way. And some of these updates I don't even remember talking about. So,
well, yeah, I suck as a human being. Thanks for pointing that out. The last time that we were together on a podcast was November 2nd.
okay.
So I suck, and I'm sorry for that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so that would have been. Oh, that was the invasion one. So there were two updates since then. So that's why I
Yes.
didn't.
Yes. So, yeah. Anyway, so
Okay.
that's all last year.
Okay.
Or this year, but it's still this year, but we're talking about it's it's timey-wimey on this episode because it's the year-end episode. Things are going to get weird because we're going to time travel backwards, and then we're going to time travel forwards, and it's timey-wimey.
All right. Well, it sounds like then that all the news is because all the Standing Stone peoples are celebrating the holidays and all that the only thing that's happening this week are some sales?
Yes, there is like no game news. Shocker of all shockers, because it is Christmas week going into New Year's week. So yeah, and we're actually going to talk about store sales, which is kind of awesome because we usually never talk about store sales because the time we can record the podcast, store sales either have like a day left or they're over. So we actually are recording this on December 21st when the store sales started, and they last all the way till December 28th. So you have plenty of time, as this episode should release tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, December 21st through the 28th over in the DDO store. Get discounts on expansions. This is not the store. This is the DDO market. Through January 2nd, these will run. You can get, please remember, this is the DDO market. So this is real world money, not DDO points. You're talking about spending moolah in the real world. 50% off Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. 60% off Fables of the Feywild. Say that a couple times fast. And 80% off Masterminds of Sharn and the expansion Trove. So that's not a bad deal, especially on Masterminds of Sharn. If you don't have that expansion, 80% off is a good deal for that. Well, 60 on Feywild is pretty good too. 50's, on Saltmarsh, but I mean, those are some of the new-ish expansions. So, I mean, Sharn's a little long in the tooth now, but not a bad deal. Now, over in the DDO store, the Tensor's Weapon Box is back. That is through January the 2nd. Also, the time that everybody loves to buy points because you get twice the bonus points in the DDO store. That is also through January 2nd. Also, the McRib of DDO is back. That's right, folks. Auto boxes are back. January 2nd is when that sale ends as well. You might be seeing a theme here with that. And now let's get to the December 28th sales. So this is through today as we record this on the 21st through the 28th. 35% off Sentient Toolkits and Jeweler Toolkits. 50% off Augment Bags. 75% off Select Augments. Also, you can store more loot. 30% off Character Bank Space, Select Shared Bank, Deposit Box, and Platinum Storage. Also Select Inventory Space, and also Select Bags. All those are through the 28th. So if you're looking for space, now is your sale. There is a weekly coupon code also through December the 28th. You get a free Lesser Guild Renowned Elixir with the coupon code XP for Guild. So the letter X, the letter P, the number 4, and then GUILD. XP4 Guild. Lesser Guild Renowned Elixir free from the store.
I think you reckon that took care of Ooh, quite a number of things there. Okay, that took care of our store sales. Anything in bonus days we didn't mention already?
Yeah, there is 10% heroic and epic XP. Also, along with a stacking 15% VIP XP that lasts through the end of the year, December the 31st. So that is always good to get those extra XPs.
Ooh,
Every little bit helps.
yes, that is true. Okay, that is it for our game news. So it's time to head on into our year in review, where I heard that we had 8 updates this year.
We did. I counted before we started recording because I wasn't sure how many. But yes, actually, the year 2023 saw 8 updates for DDO, which I didn't think there was that many until I counted. And I'm like, well, we had 8 updates. So, if I would have been a professional podcaster, I would have looked back in previous years and compared this year to previous years to see how many updates other years have had. So we'll pretend I'm a professional, and I did that. Also, notice if I'm not lazy, I might add that in post, but we'll see. Probably not. Let's be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess there is a question: is how long ago did they start free to play?
Oh God.
And the reason why I ask is okay.
Oh God. 2010, maybe. Let's see.
Okay. That's not, because that means that on average there are fewer than 80 a year because we're only up to update 65.
Okay. Look at you doing the math in your head.
So I'm guessing that we tend to average around 6 probably.
Let's see. Let me see if I was right. Oh, I was close. September of 2009. So I said 2010, so I was close. September 2009. So yeah, so I guess we're in an average year then, because you said
No, because we had 8 this year, so it's above average.
Oh, it would be. Yes, correct.
That's well above average because I'd say 6 is probably actually 6. Even 6 is slightly above average, but it could be that there are some slump years or something like that.
Well, that could be, it kind of depends too, like what went on and what some of the updates were. Because, like in years past, we've had like bigger updates and bigger things added than what we had this year. But yeah, so the first update we had was way back February 22nd. That was update 58. It was Unlikely Heroes that added the 3 new archetypes that we got. Acolyte of the Skin, which was the Warlock, replaced the Enlightened Spirit. Blightcaster Druid replaced Nature's Protector, and the Dark Hunter Ranger, which replaced the Arcane Archer. Along with that, we did get that free quest, Kill 10 Rats, which I still love that title. It's little MMO tongue-in-cheek joke. And then that quest kind of set up for the upcoming expansion with Morgrave University. That kind of started that whole Morgrave University story, Vecna, all of that.
Yeah. And I think that actually was continuing another story related to Morgrave University.
It was, yes. It was.
Yeah. So sort of a bridge, I guess.
Yeah. And then also during Update 58, that brought the 17th anniversary party. So we celebrated 17 years of DDO. And then we jump ahead to April 26th. That was Update 59. That was Legendary Droam. That did Legendary Difficulty Update for Deception in Stormreach, Attack on Stormreach. And then also some improvements to the game UI and some performance updates. Hardcore League 8, the Dragon's Horde, also kicked off during this update. And then they offered the Underdark Warriors Copper in the store. So that wasn't a huge update. I mean, I guess if you do legendary content, it was nice to get some more legendary content to do, but...
Yes, but I don't do legendary content. So so far, I didn't find anything. Okay, I did kill 10 rats a couple of times, but...
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because I don't remember if I don't think we ran it together.
I'm trying to remember if we ran it together.
Yeah,
we might not have.
I can't remember if we did. I don't remember running it with you. I ran it several times, but...
Yeah, I recall running it at least twice, but I know at least one of those was solo. I don't know if I ran it with you, maybe in preparation
We
for
might
Vecna
have,
or
yeah.
something like that, but
We possibly might have.
I can't guarantee that I've run that one before
Right.
with you. So yeah, so okay, so that was the closest thing there was to anything exciting to on update 58 to me. As for update 59, it was like, yeah, yeah, anything for me?
Hello, Bueller, Bueller. So we jump ahead from April to July. Then we get update 60, which was Vecna Unleashed pre-order. That, of course, just as the title says in the tin, opened up the mini expansion pre-order for Vecna Unleashed. Also, we got the new Epic Destiny Macro Technic. The Monster Manual Volume 9 was introduced. They did a Rune Arm overhaul. I don't
Yeah, I'm
play.
trying to remember what was the root because I just must have tested that at least once or something. Because
You would be the only one of us two that would, because I don't run
yeah,
anybody that would run a Rune Arm. So I don't
yeah.
have
So
any character that would take advantage of this in any way or shape or form.
yeah, I think I vaguely remember testing it out, but I don't remember doing because I don't think I was at the time extensively running an artificer. I was mainly playing a storm singer at the time.
Okay, yeah.
So I remember playing the Storm Singer a great amount because I think I was going through Ravenloft at the time, and yeah, and I think the Artifice was the last thing on my mind back during that part time period.
Yeah, I know you were doing a lot of stuff with the Storm Singer.
Or yeah, or the one of the possibilities is I was getting a character ready for Vecna Unleashed, whatever character I ran with you on that one.
I'm just perusing the release notes for that to see if I can see what they did to the room arms. Blah 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 blah. I am not seeing it. Oh, that update also was one of the updates that brought in the new dungeon alert too, with the new dungeon alert system, which I forgot about.
Well, that's because the next time I ran to a dungeon alert situation, it seemed like the old system to me. So
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see anything about Rune Arms off the top of my head in the show notes. So anyway, yes. Okay, so not too jumping up and down about update 60. So how about on August 16th when we got update 61, which was Vecna Unleashed. The mini expansion was upon us, including the 13 new quests that it brought. The raid was to be released in the next patch. So update 61.1 is when the raid came along. That brought us the new public zone of Morgreen University in the Upper Commons. Some balance adjustments, name loot, and this also brought Treasure of Crystal Cove event back to us as well. So I would say probably this was the biggest update of the year, just because it was, the mini expansion. We got a bunch of new quests. There was some other big things that we're going to talk about in a second, but I think release-wise, I would say Vecna Unleashed was probably the biggest thing that happened, in my opinion, in DDO this year. It just brought this whole quest line and quest, and of course, Vecna. Who doesn't love Vecna? Anything else you want to say about Update 61 in Vecna?
well, I sort of trouble with that. With what drove me crazy with this update
Mm-hmm.
was that about halfway through the content, there was this one. You know how you're doing all these tests in order to recruit people. I know we finished back, but the next quest I think that you and I are scheduled to do with each other that we hadn't got to because of scheduling conflicts. The next time, what that quest I think is the one that had where you were supposed to go in and doing all these tests for, and one of those tests involves traps. And you remember that trap in one of the optionals in one of the early ones? I think it's the one where you're in the university and you Vecna unleashed the title quest to this entire thing. In that quest, there's this room where if you stand on, there is a 0% chance to detect trap that has a huge chance
Mm-hmm.
of killing you if you're not absolutely perfectly prepared in order to handle it. It is like to me one of the worst
I
traps in
remember
the
that.
history
Yep.
of DDO. And and that quest that's coming on that is, I think, the next one Excursion to each other has a segment into it where it seems to have traps that make that look like fun.
Oh, sweet. So I get to be all trappy in that one. Nice.
And yeah,
I'm
well,
excited.
I don't know if I can detect them or not. That's the problem. And
I bet you I
so
can.
yeah, okay, but I was just and after that, I just couldn't do any more Vecna content
Mm,
solo, and I just gave up at that point
I can see
in
that.
doing
Yeah.
Vecna, and it so happened that we stopped running together right
Right.
around the same time, and you haven't even seen what I'm complaining about right
Yep.
now.
Nope.
But I could not. I was just tired of death traps
I am very
in
excited to see this,
general.
though.
I know you
Super
love
excited to see
traps,
this. I do. I do.
and
I mean, as I tend to
in
play
fact,
rogues most of the time,
oh,
I love traps.
that's right. I think I was playing an artificer. I was thinking I didn't play an art, but I think I might have actually done Vecna Unleashed
Oh, on your
my
arty?
artificer
Okay.
on my arty, and I couldn't detect traps.
Really?
That I think is the reason why it really caught my
That
attention.
seems weird.
And I don't know. It's like I just got bad vibes from Vecna Unleashed as a result of
Huh.
that. So
Well, I'm kind of excited to do the last couple quests we have to do then, because
yeah, we had
yeah.
maybe I could
See
figure
if
out
you
what
can
I was
have
doing
a.
wrong in
I'm
that
gonna say
quest.
we'll see if you have a better experience this time.
I hope so. So maybe that could
I'll
get
find the
me
traps
to
for
calm
you.
down on what. Yes. Anyway, it was I had a really bad experience
Okay.
going through
All right.
Vecna Unleashed.
Interesting. Yeah.
And
Well, we'll
like
see how
so like
much different it is for you this time.
right. Let's see. For most of the expansions and like, I have done a video series
Hmm.
highlighting the quest. All this. My series stops cold halfway through it.
I wondered why you stopped, and now I know why. Because
That is the
I was gonna ask you because I'm like, why did you just give up on Vecna? But okay, that
I
makes
get
sense.
that was part of it, and I
Okay.
think by the time I started to recover, where I think I might have been ready to mentally do it again, that's around the time when the pre-orders were. Oh, that's right. That's around the time they released River Hobbits and
Oh,
Lotro,
around Lotra. Okay.
and then I was really going heavy into the
Right.
into that. Then and then of course came the expansion on the Lotro side,
Right.
and I sort of, after my experience with Vecna release, I sort of stopped thinking about it. I was playing lots and lots
Right.
of Lotro and forgetting about DDO.
Gotcha. Well, that
So
makes total sense.
yeah, so therefore, yeah, Vecna Unleashed did not run too well with me, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I'll be interested to see if you have a better experience when
Right.
we do those quests because my rogue is heavily set for to detect traps, disarm traps. So
Okay.
we'll see if you have a better experience.
We'll see if you have better
Yeah.
experience, and or maybe if I was just doing something completely wrong or something
Yeah.
like that. But to me, it felt too much like that auto death trap that was in
Okay.
the
Okay.
Vecna Unleashed scenario,
Huh.
that I was like, oh no. I actually, about the one in Vecna Unleashed, I've talked about the quest, that what really got me about that trap is I can't think of anything that justifies the existence of that trap, because we're in a university here, and the I don't think the cultists had time to set up such a trap.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, because the cultists probably set the trap up, right? What
Yeah, but
I would assume
why? How?
magic.
Well,
I don't
yeah, but
know.
I mean, but the point is, if they're getting ready to unleash horrendous forces into the university and stuff like this, then putting this trap there, it's not a logical place or type of trap, I think, for the scenario that's involved. I mean, if there was a huge treasure in there and this was a lich that guarded treasure, then, oh yeah, such a trap would feel like it belongs. But I don't know. To me, it seemed like the most useless trap ever put into a dungeon.
So, spoiler alert, which I'm assuming for a little bit later in the show, 61 is not going to be Pine Leaf's favorite update of the year. I'm just guessing. If I was a betting man, I would place my money on that right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I could be totally wrong.
You can be totally wrong.
Maybe
with
this
that.
is all just a rouge and he's just like throwing us off to think
Yeah.
how very displeased he was, and then he's going to wax poetic in just a little while about how great this update was. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, let us continue now that my
Everybody's on
rant
the
is
edge of
over.
their seats now, Pine Leaf. Come on. All right. We had update 62 in October. It was October 4th, and that brought the attack of the Night Rebels. That was, of course, the return of the Night Rebels. Also, the Weapon Dice revamp and the Sealed in Amber overhaul.
Okay, yeah, this is starting. Yeah, I don't think I did anything the last four updates in here, and so I'm wondering. So I think I am interested in finding out what did happen because my Storm Singer could probably go through Sealed and Amber again and be a perfect time to do that and check what changed in Sealed and
Yeah.
Amber.
Oh, there's so many.
Oh, you didn't like them?
It's very, very controversial what they did to. They
Oh,
kind of changed something that didn't really need changed, but yeah. So we might have to run this. If you haven't, I didn't realize you haven't ran Sealed and Amber since.
I think I ran it just before because I ran it on my Storm Singer and that was just before
Okay.
Vecna.
To remind you, they made a couple of the secrets a little bit easier to find now. They changed the way the dark gifts kind of worked a little bit. The one nice thing that they did is they did make fewer flame skulls. So,
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, that's kind of nice because there was a little bit too many.
There are too many of them yet.
God, what else? I'm trying to think of what else they did. It's also a lot less random now. There's like a main route you could take to complete it.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem they had with Sealed in Amber is I know that I think at one point people were farming it too much, so they
Mm-hmm.
changed it to
Yes.
turn it ridiculous. I think. And so I
Yes.
think the original version was thematically the best
Yes,
version
it was.
they
I
had
agree.
there.
The original version of it was better, and then yes, people. Well, and there was also a word that we shan't utter that was taking place in it, so they had to fix that. And then they kind of went way too far with it. And then with these changes, they kind of went. I don't know. This was super controversial. I remember when it was on Lamania, the Lamania forums blew up, and then when this released, the regular forums blew up as well. So yeah, so a little bit of controversy over this one, but we'll have to run it and see what you think.
All right.
I've ran it, I think, once since the change.
We'll see if it's even worse than.
And then I enjoyed Night Rebels because I did it ad nauseum because I wanted the horse. So
Okay.
I
So what's this dice revamp?
the weapon dice revamp. That's how
Yeah.
they changed. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal actually. They just changed the way that the weapon damage dice work. Hang on one second. Let me pull it up. It kind of scales now. So like a +1 gives you 10%, +2 W gives you 20%, 3 gives you 30, 4 gives you 40, 5 gives you 50, so on, so on, so on, and so on.
Oh, they went to a percentage scale?
Yes.
That usually ends in disaster.
Yeah.
In Lotro, every time they've ever done anything percentage, they had to somehow backpedal on it a couple years later.
Like if you previously had like a +3 W, that
Yeah.
attack is now going to deal 30% damage.
Okay.
I don't know. Then again, I don't. It scales better in higher levels. That's kind of
Okay.
why they did it. Nobody's really complained about it, so apparently it is okay. And I tell you the truth, didn't notice any big main differences with it.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was another thing that well, I know they changed it a lot since I think this was the one that when it was originally on the Mania, there was a lot of back and forth talk about it, and they changed some of the stuff due to some of the feedback they got on one of the Lamania builds.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so There you go. Update 62, Attack of the Night Rebels. And then getting closer to what just happened on November 1st. So not too long ago, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, was Update 63. That was the Illithid Invasion. That brought the Illithid Invasion to DDO. That was a free Legendary Adventure Pack. And then the 4 Extreme Dungeons. That also brought the Illithid Invasion event, which you had to do the event to unlock the 4 dungeons, which they are now permanently unlocked. But you, like the 4 Extreme Dungeons, started out to be locked, and then you had to unlock them during the event. A lot of people seem to like that.
Now this is strange because I'm seeing here 3 updates in a 6-week period, which is very rapid.
Yeah, it was like towards the end of the year. You'll see here as we'll talk about these. It was pretty. This was probably the biggest update of that. Towards the end of the year, because this did bring out the 4 new dungeons and then the event. I didn't do the event at all, so I can't speak to how well the event did to unlock the dungeons, but they're unlocked on all servers. I have done the 4 extreme dungeons. I like them. They're hard as heck. Super fun though. And of course this is all legendary content. So then just a little while after that, well, I guess it was 29 days after that, we had update 64 on November 30th, which was the Chronoscope Rewound, which was the legendary version of the Chronoscope raid, which I have not done yet. So I can't speak of that. Haven't really heard yay or nay. I mean, I know a lot of people like the Chronoscope raid in general, so I'm assuming the legendary version of it is okay and fun. People like it. Haven't heard either way, to be honest. And then the last update of the year that we had was update 65. It was called Pause and Peril. Was released on December the 6th. It contains the new free quest, which is Catastrophe.
Oh, I was thinking based on the name of the update that it would be Catastrophe.
Yes, actually, I think that's how it is pronounced. Actually, yes.
Okay.
And that is the dungeon that was designed by player vote. If you remember, they had the PAX panel where they talked about how they make dungeons, and then right after that panel, they had a poll up where it's like, you have these options for the theme of the dungeon, these options for this, and this is the dungeon that won. From what I understand, it's a dragon that is morphing into a cat, or a cat that morphs into a dragon. I forgot which way it is. I actually haven't ran this dungeon yet. And if you watched any of Nobob, actually was showing you how this was designed. He has a series of videos, which I think is still going too, on how this dungeon was made. And like I said, this was all basically player created. They took all of the options that were voted on and they did this. Let's see. The free dungeon is a rogue dragon is acting unnaturally, has been causing chaos in Stormreach. The agents of Argonescent seek your assistance to help contain the dragon before it can do more damage. And then once again, this was basically thought up and conceived out of the Pack East panel. And then you can watch, I'll put a link over to the DDO official YouTube channel. The Joy of Delving is what that show is called. Nobob was showing you how he made this dungeon as he went along. And this dungeon is free for everybody too. So even if you're free to play our premium, you can go ahead and play this dungeon for free. You can find the entrance to it just at the marketplace, just out of the House Fjarlin gate. Speak to Lady Nilith to get started. It's a level 4 on heroic and 34 on Legendary. I've watched a couple YouTube videos of people running this. It looks pretty fun. I actually haven't, like I said, I haven't ran it myself yet, so I'm kind of interested to see this run. And then I'm assuming you haven't ran this dungeon yet either?
Right.
We might have to run it then. See if we have any level 4s or close to level 4.
I probably should have somebody in that
I would
area.
think so. I think I might have somebody close to that. I might be a little over that, but we'll see. Also, during this update, course brought out Hardcore Season 9, which is currently running as we record the episode. Also, Festival for Winter of 23 is running as well. So that was it. That was the last update that we had of the year.
Yes, less than a week after the previous one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, they were like, it's getting towards the end of the year. We're getting ready to go on vacation for the holidays. Let's pump this stuff out, get it out. Players can enjoy it, and then we'll wow them with whatever's happening in 24 because we really don't know. They haven't really, they really haven't said anything what's coming in 24. Hopefully, we'll get a producer's letter. Which word on the street, i.e., Cordovan said on his stream, don't look for the producer's letter till at least the anniversary. That's probably when the producer's letter is going to come out.
Till the anniversary?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's probably when we're going to get the producer's letter. So, yeah, eight updates. We got a mini expansion this year, and then we got those other free dungeons, and then we got the free dungeon just couple weeks ago. So a lot of dungeons, mini expansions. So overall, I think it was a decent year in DDO. So thinking about the year past, all the 8 updates we just talked about, we know it's not going to be update 61, but what was your favorite update other than update 61 back then? Because apparently you took issue with Vecna Unleashed.
I think I took issue with it.
Well, kind of you did. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit too.
Yeah. I don't see anything that here overly excites me at all throughout the entire year, which is probably why I was very unenthusiastic during the second half of the year and was playing the other game, Standing Stone, instead.
Which I can see, because like your play style, I don't want to say was overlooked, but was kind of not a lot came out for your typical play style, I guess is the best way to put that.
I mean, I almost think that the one that really slipped beneath me in the end is I have a feeling that if I had a chance to go and play everything here, my favorite update is probably going to turn into into 65, but I haven't had a chance to play because I didn't know about that update.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Because that at least has a possibly in my play style update, but I haven't actually played it yet, so I can't be too sure.
Okay. Well, we will mark that down and we will run that dungeon.
We'll run it and see if that actually turns out to be true. But nothing here jumps out.
Okay.
To me because as you said,
that's fair.
Everything's a little outside of my wheelhouse.
Right. For me, of course, update 61 Vecna Unleashed because Vecna. And of all the quests that I've ran so far, like I said, we have, I think, 2 left, maybe 3, something like that. We're almost done with all of the quests. I've enjoyed, there was one that I don't remember which one it was. There was one that I was just like, this was kind of not that great. But as everybody, if you've ever listened to the show before, you know I love Vecna. Vecna is like my favorite villain in D&D ever. So I just ate this update up and enjoyed everything about it.
And to answer it, there's always a possibility that if I review through everything in there's a possibility that 61 could turn out to be my favorite only by forfeit.
Okay, all right. Well,
I mean, because there are a couple of nice dungeons in there.
Right.
Just that
we will put an asterisk on this, and we'll come back after we run the new dungeon.
After the new dungeon and all that stuff,
and we'll see. Yeah,
because if Vecna wins, it is only because after all my complaining about 61, you could just imagine what I think about the rest of the
right. So let's get into that. So, thinking about everything that happened in 2023, other than like quests our updates, our expansions, what is the best non-raid slash quest thing that we got in DDO this year?
I mean,
So you can, I mean, there's a lot to pick from that wouldn't be a quest or wouldn't be, the raid.
I don't know what you mean a lot to pick from. I mean, the only thing that even seemed mildly interesting to me were the rune arm updates, and even though I'm pretty sure I did test those because I'm reading here because
Did,
I did play Vecna with my
okay.
thing, is I don't recall it grabbing me so much that I remembered it.
Did you not play a Blightcaster at all?
No.
Oh, for some reason I thought you did.
No, I was playing with Storm Singer all through that.
Oh, that's right. You were. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Storm Singer, which was one which is strangely enough, when that first came out, I thought that didn't sound too exciting, and that's
I
the one
remember that.
pulled up.
I remember that because I remember we were talking about all that, and you were like, "I'm not really excited about this at all," and then you wouldn't stop playing your silly storms, and you kept making new ones, and I'm like, "Pinely, what are you doing, man? Like what is this?" Like you're like turning into me with Rangers and Rogues here. Like what is going on? Like come on.
Now I'm wondering, is it possible to do a Storm Singer slash Artificer, and what would happen if I
I
did that?
bet you could do that.
I would say because I'm thinking maybe doing that for my for next year or something like that.
I bet you could probably build that. Be an interesting
But
I bet you could.
it'd be a strange thing because normally I don't go for multi-class builds.
Right, true. I
So
mean,
I
that
think,
would be kind of outside of your norm, but
yeah, but that'd be something to experiment with.
that might be fun to experiment with, indeed. Yeah. So for me, probably nobody is going to be shocked at this. Of course, it was the Dark Hunter Ranger. I made a couple of them. I love them. Remember that for later. Hint, hint. That's all I'm going to say. So 2024, we really have like I said, we have no idea what's coming ahead because they really haven't said anything.
Right.
So, and this was kind of the case, if I remember last year when we did this very review show last year, we kind of had the same thing. We were like kind of throwing darts at a wall because we really didn't know what was coming up. So, what are we looking forward to the most for next year in the land of DDO?
A more piney friendly year.
I can see that. So you're hoping for a year that is less like legendary content, more mid-tier, mid-level range
Yeah, I would say
content.
something.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sort of right now. One of the things I noticed is because the Storm Singer that I was playing
Mm-hmm.
was TR'd,
Okay.
I realized difficulty in leveling from 10 to 12 because you've got one of the best expansion packs right at that range, of course, but that's the only thing and there seemed to be little else, or at least most of the other stuff I said, nah. So I think you have all this undead stuff around that range also.
Yep.
Well, okay, I guess Ravenloft is also technically undead stuff.
Well,
That's
yeah.
the only undead stuff that's been fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think level 10 to 12.
Yeah.
That is kind of a weird.
Yeah. I had a lot of trouble in there and trying to get up to level 12 because since I was playing a TR'd character, I ran into right around level 10 is when I ran into this is what they mean is your experience is tougher.
Yeah, oh yeah. You let's say level 10 you would have like the Sands quest.
Yeah, and I wasn't really
you would have those. You would have
excited about Sands.
Ataraxia's Haven would be 10. Thurnal, Ruins of Thurnal would be 10.
I think I did Thurnal.
Of course, Ravenloft. You would have Sorrow Dusk Isle. That would be another one.
I guess there's a lot of stuff there. I think I was just about 11 or something like that is where it ran into
I'm
trouble.
trying to think off the top of my head. 11, you're still doing sand stuff. You would have some of the Delara's Tomb. You would have some of the Ravenloft would be 11, and then the big thing at 11 would be the Necropolis.
That explains why I was avoiding it.
Yeah, like all like the Tomb of Torment, Tomb of the Unhallowed, Tomb of the Blighten, Tomb of the Forbidden. What the other tomb that there is, which I really don't like those quests either. But
all right, so that's probably the reason.
Yeah,
because I was looking. That's what I was looking at. So I did go to Thurnal in order to help me with it, and maybe one or two couple things in the sands, but I
Yeah,
sort of
11.
ran out of gas there.
I think now I'm sure somebody's gonna write in and tell me how stupid I am, but I think 11 is like the like kind of dead zone between that.
Yeah,
11 is the hard level I think to try to get
yeah,
experience.
and
But
that's why. And in fact, I ran Sunrise at level 11 because I couldn't get to
oh,
12.
you couldn't. Okay, yeah.
I couldn't get to 12, so I
So
decided. So I finished Ravenloft at level when I was still level 11.
at 11, okay. Podcast at DDOplayers.com if you want to tell me how wrong I am. That's fine. I
Okay.
can, but yeah, like what? Please write in and tell us what do you do at level 11? What is the optimal path to get through 11 to 12?
Okay. Now I should note that I am not in the habit of repeating dungeons constantly. I know some people like to do that.
That would be I do that. I know more than you do.
Right.
I tend to repeat a lot of dungeons. Yeah.
And in fact, I was looking either yesterday or today at the rules for ransack, and I was
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Well, I was going nowhere. I don't know. I seem to be worried that you start ransacking at your second
Oh God,
run of a
no!
dungeon. It's like,
I can tell you all about ransack.
oh yeah, it was talking about, yeah, if you run 8 dungeons in run the same dungeon eight, or actually loot the same chest 8 times
Yes.
in the same 7 days,
Because
then
I've hit ransack plenty of times when I was trying to get slice and dice and the quiver out of Grim and Barrett. Yeah, I've hit ransack plenty of times.
okay,
So I can tell you all about ransack.
yeah,
For me, what I'm looking forward to, I know this is kind of like the stock answer I always say, but until we actually know, I'm assuming we're going to get another classic pack of
right,
some type. So I'm going to say the classic pack because I always like to see what Standing Stone does to like the classic dungeons that I used to love to run in pen and paper. So I'm gonna do that with a little asterisk, unless something else comes up in the producer's letter that's like, oh my god, I can't wait till that comes out.
all right,
So we might check back with this too after the producer's letter, like I said, which tentatively they're saying around the anniversary. So we got a little while to wait.
okay.
So that's DDO 2023 in a nutshell. So if you're familiar with the show, we always in these shows, we like to do a little gaming goals. So what we do is we set some goals. Could be DDO related, could be video game related, could be tabletop related, just anything gaming wise. We set some goals, and it's just a little fun thing to see how well we do. So let's see how we did, and then we'll find out what the heck we have planned for the year 2024. So back in, I think we did the show about this time last year as well. So back in 2022, yay long ago, Pineleaf set some goals. His first goal was the 10 BBG, that is hard to say, challenges. Target was to complete 6.
Right.
So what the heck are you talking about?
All right. Okay. That's right. That is because I took on 10 different challenges here. I said,
Yes,
yeah. All right. Because I've right.
because you're
And the
Pine Leaf,
target was
that's
to
why.
complete. Yeah. So right. So there are 10 different challenges that they had in there. Now, one of those challenges was to do at least 5 of the other 9.
Okay.
So that one was actually relatively soft because if I finished 5, then it means I've finished 6. And so therefore I had to complete at least 5 of those other 9 challenges. So I have 6 for that thing, and I managed to complete 9.
Okay. So overachieved yet again.
Yeah. So that worked out. Now, the other one was the Storm Singer to level 20, which I think, based on how I was describing this year, you could pretty much assume that I ran out of gas somewhere as I was finishing up Ravenloft.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the character that I was trying to get up to level 20.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
so, right, and I came out of that. Then, of course, I got all excited about Vecna. Then I got all unexcited about Vecna.
See the previous conversation in the show.
Yeah, yes. See the previous conversations in the show. So and then came out all that Lotro stuff that I've been playing for the last 3 months.
Okay.
So DDO challenge fail and it overachieved on the tabletop games.
And then I think that was it, right? And then
Yeah,
yours, yeah, because you had your Storm Singer at level 20 was your
right.
last one. Okay, all right. Well, as far as me, I had played DDO more, which I think I sort of kind of did. I would say I semi succeeded in this because I did. I think well, for a while we were doing really good playing, and then my dumpster fire of a life happened, and yeah, things see why the podcast is sporadic, and we talked about it as nauseum on the show. And then I was playing with Patrick. We're doing our little thing that we're doing, and I've been playing with Biba Safira and Beaker a little bit. So I'm gonna say I sorta kinda succeeded at this. Then my next one was play video games more with friends. This one I probably kind of failed at. I really can't say that I played a lot of, other than DDO, video game wise, with friends any more than I did the previous year, which is sad. Which I really want to try to do more, but again, see previous conversation about dumpster fire of a life. And then my last one was play board games more with friends. I think I semi succeeded with this too. I had one, two, three, 4 board game nights with my friends, and then with my niece I had a couple. So I think I kind of succeeded with that too. So I think actually this year I probably succeeded maybe 60%. We'll say I'll give myself. So not bad, actually, from what I usually do, I think. So we'll see. So let's see. So what crazy goals have Pine Leaf set for himself?
Well, I decided not to be so crazy this year as previous years.
Okay.
For one of the reasons is that maybe it'll give me more time to actually play DDO.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because some of those crazy board game goals make it difficult to play other things, because I think that's the other thing that's, like, for example, the last couple of weeks I've been trying to finish up these other goals, and of course DDO fits into that picture.
Right.
Since I think by that time I'd long abandoned getting that Storm Singer up to level 20.
Right.
So therefore I decided, okay, let's reach what we call H level 30. That means I have 30 different games that I've played at least 30 times.
Okay.
And there is another one that's right. I have a number of games that I've received from Kickstarters, and some of them are in a folder for my record keeping of received but not played, since I have another one for those I've played. So my goal then is to lessen as much as possible that folder and to get them moved over into the played area.
Okay. All right.
So in other words, my shelf of opportunity needs to lighten up.
See, Pine Leaf, that is how we differ as human beings. You have a shelf of opportunity. Myself, I have what my friends affectionately call my room of shame.
Okay.
Which I should take a picture, and I will try to take a picture and put it on the YouTube version of this. And you can see what my room of shame looks like. My room of shame is all of my board games that just sit there neglected, half of them still in the shrink. You have a shelf. I have a room.
Well, mine might be more literally a room than a shelf.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just saying, it's because I have received a number of Kickstarters and things, and I think,
right.
Okay, and so I've ordered all these things through Kickstarter and all this stuff, and now maybe I should actually play all of them.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, okay. So let's see if I want to get this. I want to see if I can get that down, or at least into the single digits.
Okay.
Now, remember, there'll be things received during the course of the year that I also have to get down. So the idea there is that any thing that gets put into the receive prior to December 2024, I'm going to try to get those things out and played. We'll see how well I can do that.
Okay. All right.
And the other thing I want to do is, we were discussing this earlier, is I'm not going to give any goals for what level I reach, because we know how much that stuff fails.
Right.
So I want to create an Artificer / Storm Singer, because I originally think it was Artificer, but now I think actually test multi-classing. Let's try Artificer slash Stormsinger and test out things like the new rune arms and stuff like this. Get up to Ravenloft, test out, of course, the new Sealed and Amber, and of course, experience Catastrophe, since I'll be going through level 4 at some point through that.
Okay. And it's funny you would mention, now we don't like talk about these goals before we start recording, but your goal kind of goes with one of my goals, actually.
Oh?
Funny enough, actually, yes. And like I said, it was not planned, but you will see why in a moment. So it looks like you got some pretty good goals. So we'll see about maybe this time or so next year how you did. So is that it for all your goals? Then for myself, I want to hit level 30 on Kyber. That is the character that I'm running with Patrick. And usually it's like Saphira and Beavis and Beaker most of the time, but sometimes it's other various people that Patrick grabs from his guild. I want to hit level 30 and run the Strahd raid, because basically that's like the whole reason why Patrick is doing this like crazy thing where he's trying to like drag me through all this high level content. He's trying to get me into the raids, because I like a long time, like this has been like years in the making now. Like years ago, like basically when Ravenloft and Strahd first came out, Patrick was on the show and we were talking, and I was like, my goal at some point in my lifetime is to run the Strahd raid, because, Strahd, Ravenloft, me, duh. So yeah, we'll see. I think I'm level 25 now. I think I either just hit level 25 or I just hit level 26. I think I just hit level 25 actually. So we'll see. And 30, I don't know why. That's just cap right now. So I just wanted to hit cap and run Strahd. So we'll see if we can make that happen during the year. And then again, that's kind of like we play whenever. We don't have like a set, because, see dumpster fire in my life. And Patrick is pretty busy as well. So just whenever we can play, we play for a couple hours. It's not like where, it's like every X night we're going to play. So we'll see. I think it's doable. I think I can hit 30. So we'll see. And then my other goal that I had that kind of, if you want, I mean, we don't have to make this mesh, but kind of goes along with one of your goals, is I want to create a brand new Dark Hunter and just see how high I can get that character.
Yes, I would say that that us trying to do that in sync is probably going to be more hurtful than useful.
Well, that's true. Yeah, if you're going to do an arty, that's true.
Well, it's not just it's just not the arty thing, but the thing that was making me think could be the problem is like trouble we sometimes have in linking up and getting it.
Right.
Characters are not going to get past level 7.
Right. Probably not. We'll see. Well, we'll see. That's another goal. We'll see. But yeah, okay. So we will see. And then this year, this was like my same goal I had last year. I want to play other video games with friends more. I really want to force myself to do that, because I'm kind of getting in a rut with with life and dumpster fires and everything. I want to play more video games, be it DDO, be it other video. I mean, there's a lot of video games out there that you can play with people, with friends. So friends, if you're listening, we're going to play games. Like, hold me to that. All of you, because I know you listen, some of you. And then I kind of want to keep having more board game nights. Like I said, I did pretty good at that this year. And that kind of goes into the whole room of shame. I have so many games in there, be it Kickstarters, be it review copies of stuff that were sent to us, Kickstarters, games I bought, just so many games that are just sitting in there that I need, not just want to play, I need to play, because it's dumb just to have them sitting there. So that is my other goal. And then it's sort of gaming / podcast related, but try to have a better year overall with my mental health, my life, with everything. Don't let the dumpster fire get in the way. Make the podcast be more consistent. Make gaming, be it with you, be it with friends, with whatever. Just make everything be more consistent and better. because I kind of need that just for my mental well-being. And it's not looking great so far because we've rescheduled this podcast like 3 times now. So hopefully 2024 is better. Please, whoever, please make it be better. So we'll see. So there you go.
Right.
That's our goal. So we'll see how we do.
Then let's go and see what's on the tabletop. And there's a new board game publisher, Play to Z.
It's a funny. I like the name they chose. Play to Z. Yeah, it was founded by Z-Man Games founder. I just created a new word. Founder Zeb Schlesinger. His team also includes one Stephen Bonacore, who, of course, is the podfather of gaming. He founded Stronghold Games. I'm sure if you're into tabletop gaming, you've heard of Zeb, you've heard of Stephen Bonacore. Also joining them are going to be Jeff Eggleston, another name I'm sure many people have heard of. The Gamma Treasure, Nicole Brady, games media content creator Raul Gabiola, I guess is how you pronounce that. I don't know who that is. I apologize.
Raul? Is that the guy who works with Rado a bit?
Maybe, because his name kind of sounded familiar, but I couldn't picture him. That might be him. I think you might be right. And then Jeff Anderson is also among others. There's plenty of other people. But yeah, so it's kind of nice to see a new board game publisher entering the fray. The company's debut game is going to be a new edition of the 2011 Z-Man game called Ascending Empires, which I have never heard of. I don't remember ever hearing of this game, but it's a dexterity-based strategy game. You flick ships into space to expand their empires and exploit planetary resources. This is going to be called what they are calling the Zenith Edition. It's going to launch in Q1 of next year on Kickstarter. It promises a modular gameplay, 100 plastic miniatures, 2 neoprene play surfaces, and many minor updates to the original game and rules. So, yay! I guess, I don't know, that game does not sound interesting to me whatsoever. Okay. But, I mean, I just like to see a new company.
Oh, okay. So sorry, I guess I misheard your name there. You said Ruel Gavo. I think you said Raul. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Ruel.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'll have to look through this guy. He's apparently a game media content creator, but I'm sure I've seen him because I get all sorts of random stuff on my feed. But yeah, so anyway, brand new board game company. Look for them. Kickstarter 2021. Play to Z Games.
All right. And Hero Quest's latest quest packs have reached Amazon pre-order.
And actually, they are out of pre-order. They are now shipping.
Ooh.
So, they were up for pre-order, and then, because I may or may not have pre-ordered these, 2 days later, I got a shipping notification. So, I'm like, okay, that was fast, Amazon. But yeah, so these bring 2 new quest packs to Hero Quest. It's the Prophecy of Telor and Spirit Queen's Torment. Prophecy of Telor is going to bring 13 more quests, and then there's 14 quests in the Spirit Queen's Torment. So you can go on Amazon right now, order these, and I guarantee you they'll ship. I'm supposed to get these, I think it was either tomorrow or Saturday is when they said they were going to be delivered. So it's not pre-order anymore, it's ordered. Go buy them if you want more Hero Quest.
That's on the tabletop. Let's see what's on the screen. This week, where you could win Baldur's Gate 3 freebies with Larian's Christmas Advent Calendar.
Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. What this is you go over to the site, which I have linked in the show notes, and it's a advent calendar. So every day leading up to Christmas, you click on a day, and then when you click on that day, it will bring up a set of cards, and then you're basically playing a match game, and you're trying to match the cards in as less moves as it takes you. Basically, it's a basic matching, and all of the graphics and everything that you're matching are stuff to do with Baldur's Gate. It might be characters, it might be monsters, and then you have a chance to win freebies. And so far, all of the freebies have been MP3s from the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to change up the freebies, but so far, the only thing I have won to date has been soundtrack MP3s. So, I mean, they might change it up and add more stuff later on, but we'll see. I haven't actually done today's yet, but so it's just a little something fun. Right. So go check it out.
Then, speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I heard that it's 10% off in the Steam sale.
It is. Steam sale started today and runs through July 4th, and this is the first time.
July 4th?
I'm sorry, not July 4th, January 4th. Sorry, I am ready to get 2024 done with already, apparently.
Apparently.
Haven't even started yet, and I'm like, we're already in July. Look at that. No, excuse me, January 4th. I blame the drink that I'm drinking. We won't discuss what it is, but yes, December 21st, which is today, through January 4th. There we go. Baldur's Gate 3 is on sale, and this does mark the first time that it has been on sale since it released. I mean, it's only 10% off, so it's still $53.99, but it's a sale nonetheless, right? It's great. And then before the show, I just kind of looked to see, it's your typical Steam sale. I kind of looked. I didn't really spend a lot of time doing this. I was just doing this during pre-show as Pine Leaf and I were talking. Lies of P, which I have played, is 20% off at $47.99. Total Warhammer, which I have not played yet. I don't even think I own this. It's 50% off at $29.99. And then Red Dead Redemption 2 is 67% off for $19.79. Those are just a couple of the titles that I saw that jumped out at me. Like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time delving deep into it, but Steam sale, go check it out. I'm sure you're getting a bunch of emails that's like, this game is on sale from your wish list. This game is on sale from your wish list, if you have a wish list. So we'll see how much money I may or may not spend in the Steam sale. We'll see. Hopefully not a lot, but we'll see.
All right. Then let's go into our week in gaming. What were you up to?
Nothing. Well, actually, I take that back. I did play some D&D. I was Waterdeep Dwarves. We are still delving into Undermountain. The level that we're on, we started finding some of the Undermountain gates. So we started unlocking those to see where the gates go. We found like the gate to level 2, and then I don't remember the other one we found. And then my party is basically a bunch of wimps, and they wimped out. We found the king's burial chamber, and there was a spirit that said they would unlock the burial chamber for us. We just had to do a magic spell on him to release him, and they wimped out and wouldn't do it. I'm like, let's do it. Let's get into the burial chamber, see what's up. Nope, they didn't want to do it. Think of the treasure that was in there to be had, but no. Ugh, parties, I tell you. And then we ended that session where we found a stuffed, I use the term stuffed in quotation marks because it ended up not being so stuffed, bullet. And now we have to fight that. That's how we ended. It came to life, and then we ended before we got into combat. So we'll pick that up in January. And that was it. Didn't play any video games or anything this week. So another bad week for me, but hopefully next year will be better. We'll see. So how about you? Right. What were you up to?
All right. In addition to playing lots of Lotrope, I was also working on finishing up my tabletop goals for the year, where I was finishing off the last few app games, which was the last item I wanted to check off on my list. And then And as I was doing that, I got to a couple of them where I was near the end of there. I said, okay, Xenoshift. Now, Xenoshift is one of those games which, no matter what I do, I always get squashed by it. I'm lucky to survive round two, much less round three. I don't know if you're familiar with Xenoshift.
I have played it one time, maybe.
Right. So you could just imagine. So I'm playing this with my usual expectation that all right, maybe I can get through round two, and somehow I get to the end of this game and I'm looking at this. What I actually won? What is going on in the
What?
world?
How did this happen? What's going on here? This can't be right.
This is Xenoshift. I'm not allowed to win this
This is
game.
not right. What's happening?
So yes, so I was very reluctant. I think I was really dragging my feet on playing that game all year because I just remembered my bad experiences in having it. Somehow I actually won that game. So that's the highlight, I would say, of my tabletop for this week. Actually winning that game fight. We currently have 12 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support the DDO players, you can go to the donations page to support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you'd like to send us some feedback, you could send us an email to ddoplayers.com/live. We have two shows. On Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Loach Players News, and we record DDO Players News when DRAC is available. You can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that's all for this year. And this is Pine Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.